What you are about to hear is an actual account of D-Day from the only known frontline battle diaries in existence. The following content may not be suited for everyone. No Undue Fear. Captain Gerard Taggart was a chaplain in the 175th Regiment, 29th Division, United States Army. Let me tell you about his experience and share some quotes from his battle diaries. I remember him as an uncle who had been a great pitcher on a local minor league baseball team in Hudson Valley. The uncle who had turned down contracts with the Yankees, the Giants, the Dodgers to devote himself to the work of God in the priesthood. As I read the battle diaries, I was impressed by Father Jerry's dedication to bringing God to the troops as they trained for the invasion of Europe. Father Jerry knew that every fighting man had to be at peace with God. He said daily mass and heard confessions, handled welfare cases, led interdenominational services and radio broadcasts, always asking God to grant them all the grace of no undue fear against the enemy, no physical ill, but only to fear offending God by sin. Finally, it was June 6, 1944. My uncle's battle diaries are a first-hand account of those days. Here's what he wrote exactly as he wrote it. Tuesday, 6/6. This is D-Day. Our forces with naval and air cover invaded North France, Brittany to Normandy. This morning, 2 divisions of airborne troops dropped behind the enemy lines. The attack was successful according to reports that we have received. We are now headed towards France, scheduled to land in the 3rd wave. Hundreds of planes have been rowing back and forth across the channel all day. We are accompanied by hundreds of ships. LSTs, LCIs, LCYs, battleships, cruisers, destroyers, minesweepers, torpedo boats, etc. Not even Hollywood could do this scene justice. How fortunate we have been safe and sound right along. Had mass at 1600 and the usual general services at 2000 hours. We are scheduled to hit early tomorrow morning. There is no room for our craft to land tonight. The engineers have been unable to clear the mines and concrete blocks. We shall have to wait our turn. God is good. I have no undue fear. Wednesday, 6/7. We are now approaching shore. All things are ready. The morale of the men is very good. We are all a bit tired, but ready to go. A fleet of tugboats just headed in for shore. Can it be that our forces have already captured a harbor? The radio news is very encouraging. The German broadcast would have us believe that the invasion failed. We shall soon see. Omaha Beach. My dear God, what a day and what an experience. We hit the beach late morning and ran into anti-personnel mines, booby traps, etc. As I sit in the roadside resting before our next major attack, I am too tired and upset to describe the horrible effects that greeted our eyes on the beaches when we landed. It was too heartbreaking and horrible to mention. Father Kelly survived the assault of yesterday and was a very busy, tired priest. At this point, we have already advanced some 5 miles, hounded continually en route by German snipers. I talked with many prisoners we have taken, a few of whom are Catholic and one whom I anointed. The French seem overjoyed to see us. Spitfires just wiped out a German artillery concentration which had been blocking our advance. They were American Spits. I have never seen so devastating a rain of lead. Planes are still roaring overhead. Last night I barely escaped a tremendous German 88 barrage. What an experience this is. I am so tired and hungry, but quite cool, thank God. We continue to advance, although machine gun nests and snipers keep picking us off. Tonight we had a most frightful experience yet. We are all so weak and hungry, it was decided to bivouac for a spell. Snipers using tracer bullets revealed our position to an 88 battery. We were shelled unmercifully, suffering many casualties and fatalities in the battalion. All hell broke loose on us. My head is splitting. The boy I was holding next to me got it in both legs. Only a stone wall and the grace of God saved my life. We walked for hours after the barrage, collecting the dead and wounded. In the midst of it, we were stopped by the Luftwaffe. Had the Germans counterattacked, we would have been finished. Shortly after writing this, Father Jerry was hit by an enemy sniper round in a helmet. It knocked him down and unconscious while ricocheting between the steel pot and the helmet liner. Days later, after a slow advance against a tenacious foe, the platoon he was with stopped at a farmhouse. A German plane attacked, strafing and firing rockets. One of the rockets came through the thatch roof and embedded into a mattress, the one that Father Jerry was resting on. It was a dud. Weeks later, as the 29th Division battled toward Cherbourg, Father Jerry was caring for the wounded with the medics in an aid station when the Germans counterattacked and surrounded them. He went out, hands up, shouting, "Nicht schließen," don't shoot. He was ordered to bring everyone out. As he helped carry out the wounded, he spread the word. These are SS troops. If they fire, hit the ground at first shot and don't move and don't even breathe. Sure enough, the SS troopers opened fire with their machine pistols. Afterward, he wrote, "The Germans walked past us, searched the aid station, and moved on. Under cover of our own artillery, I managed to get back and carry a few living patients along. The next couple of hours were a nightmare. Still surrounded by the Germans, the guns of our own battalion and artillery, plus our planes began to rain shells and bombs, most of which fell all around us. Finally, we agreed to make a break for our lines, especially when I spotted our own C Company through my glasses. I took the Red Cross flag and led a little group through the enemy lines. Thanks be to God, we were not shot at. Here I am back in our own battalion area, a very tired and grateful priest. Despite the narrow escapes from death, the daily misery of the mud, the wet foxholes, the constant pounding of 88s, the mines, booby traps, snipers, and machine guns, etc., he stayed at the front. He wrote at the Battle of St. Lo, "I am not afraid to go ahead. I have prayed to fear no physical ill, but only to fear offending God. My prayers have been answered. Bullets and bombs no longer upset me anymore." Not long after this, Father Jerry was evacuated to a field hospital and then back to England, a victim of rheumatic fever and yellow jaundice. He was awarded the Purple Heart and Silver Star for his actions. I know Father Jerry's prayer for the grace of no undue fear against the enemy, no physical ill, but only to fear offending God by sin, fortified not only the spirits of those brave troops of the 29th Division, but his own spirit as well.